Hi, viewers. Welcome. Good evening, and welcome to Northeast Today live sessions. And today I have someone really cool and chilled out. I was really looking forward to this interview. So she is the first Formula racer from Meghalaya, and she is none other than Phoebe Dale Nongrum. Let us welcome her. And meanwhile, I would request you all to please send in your comments. And if you have any questions, do type in so that we'll take them as and when possible. So let's invite her. Hi, Phoebe.
Hi, Phoebe. Hi, how are you, Mito?
I'm good.
I'm
Kumno
good. Kumna
long.
Shillong. Kumne, thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
I was
I
really
was
looking forward to
really
this
looking forward to this
interview.
interview,
And I'm so
and
glad
I'm
you're
so
finally
glad you're
here.
finally
And
here.
I welcome
And
you on
I
behalf of
welcome you on
Northeast
behalf of North
Today live
today
session.
live session.
And as a protocol and as tradition, what we do is before we start with the question and answer round, we show an intro video to our viewers to let them get them more familiar with you. So should we go ahead with that right now?
All right, sure.
Right.
Phoebe Dale Smith Nongrum is a daughter of a retired IPS officer Onesimus Pasi, resident of Pokesh, a locality in Shillong city of Meghalaya. She is the first woman from Northeast to be selected in a Formula LGB 14. She created history by winning the third podium in the 23rd JK Tyre National Racing Championship 2020 held in Coimbatore in January. The event was postponed due to the pandemic and finished with 2 rounds instead of 4. However, she was leading in the women's category. In racing championships, there is no separate women's category and both genders have to fight each other to get to the top ranking. Phoebe came to know about Formula LGB in 2019. Before that, she was into dirt racing and had been participating in events in Arunachal Pradesh since 2017, the only one of its kind in India. The JK Tyre Arunachal Festival of Speed is a 3-day event that combines 3 forms of off-road racing and rallying: the Autocross, the rally sprint and the hill climb. For Baljit Singh Tedwal, her friend who is also from Shillong, and co-driver Phoebe Dale Smith Nongrum, the event was memorable as they bagged the first prize in the Northeast SUV class while also taking second runner-up in National SUV class and third runner-up in National Open class. Phoebe always felt that books were not enough to teach one the ways of life. She did not change her mind even after her parents sounded cautious about her future. Nongrum came back in 2019 to prepare for UPSC examinations. Since her father is an IPS officer, she wanted to be in the police force too. But she found out about Formula Championship and Ahura Formula team recruiting women drivers. Some of her friends encouraged her and she took the chance. Before that, Nongrum said that she had no training, but she participated and got selected, and she drove along, leaving behind the dream of UPSC. The challenges on the way for a woman driver are harsher than the treacherous Formula track where anything can happen any moment, and the Northeast does not have the infrastructure for training and there are no tracks to practice. But this did not stop Phoebe from getting into the competition and taking on the driver's seat. There is one thing that Phoebe Dale Smith Nongrum refuses to do: give up. She does not give up no matter what, inspired by Michael Schumacher and Niki Lauda, who never gave up. Northeast Today wishes Phoebe Godspeed in her journey ahead.
And the number 3 room judges. Car number 46 and car number
Amazing, Phoebe. Wow.
Thank you.
I did see them before the interview too, but I just can't get over it. I want to see it again and again. So the video that I saw, I think the red one is your car, right?
Yeah, one of the
The
red
red
cars
one.
is mine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So, and which event was that for? Was it the recent Coimbatore one?
Yes, this was the recent 23rd JK Tyre National Championship that
Uh-huh.
happened in December. Was one The first round was in December and the second round was in Jan, like the final round. So yeah, this was then. This is the earliest video of the race.
Wow, it's so nice. I mean, this I read that JK Tyre 2017. You and your partner Baljit Singh, you guys have won that too.
Yeah,
Was
that
it
was a whole different
2017?
thing. Yeah,
Okay,
that was a
okay.
rally event. Actually,
Uh-huh.
Baljit is the driver. I was his co-driver. He
Right.
I was just starting then. I think I just did myself. I've just done one autocross race, and
Mm-hmm.
Baljit probably saw how I was driving, so he was like, "Okay, let me ask her if she would be my co-driver." So he just calls me randomly one day, and he's like, "Hey, do you remember we did an autocross together?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course I do." And he's like, "Would you want to be my co-driver? There's a race in Arunachal, and
Uh-huh.
the North Pass is there, and we're taking his gypsy." So I was like, he said, Would you want to be my co-driver?" I said, "Of course, sure, why not? That would be something new for me, and I would love to explore Arunachal and be able to race in the terrain over there." So that's how we connected. And the next thing I know, early morning, I'm up and awake at 5 a.m. I'm all set to leave for Arunachal for the race.
Right.
And that was
But
my first time co-driving. That was my
mhm.
first
Oh,
co-driving for him. Yeah, I mean,
so
ever.
I what would okay, TK, like he said like let's go and you were up for it, but then what about your parents' reaction? I mean, it's kind of like because motor sports are like really, really scary, right? And then we often see on television the accidents, and it's kind of frightening. I mean, any parent would be so worried about their child. I mean, it's not just girl. I mean, even for the son.
Of course, initially, to be very honest, like you said, every parent would worry, right?
Right.
The same with my parents. They all worried about me. Like they were like, okay, so I had to make sure to find a way to make them comfortable with the sport, make them comfortable and not see the danger at first. I had to paint a beautiful picture for them. Uh, so
Right.
my way of painting that picture was every time I had to go out for to travel for a race, I wouldn't tell them, even if I had known like a week ahead or a month ahead, I wouldn't tell them. I would tell them just the day before I leave, so that they won't have the time to think about it too much, like become tense about it. So I would just tell them, I'm leaving tomorrow at 5 a.m. There's a race and I'm just gonna go for it. So I would say
Right.
something like that to them, and I would leave, and I would make sure that I would give it my all and then come back with the
Mm-hmm.
trophy. So every single race that I've left for, I've come back with a trophy, and I think they have kind of accepted it, and they have, they've wrapped their head around it. Okay, it's okay. She goes and she still comes back with a trophy. So, it's something that I probably am good at. Maybe, I should get more chance of doing this. So I think at first it was very difficult, but as I went along the way, they started accepting the fact that it's okay. It's safe also. Like it's not that risky. I mean, it's a risky sport, but it's not that risky because there are safety measures. Of course, we follow strict safety protocols for racing as well. So yeah,
So, are they watching this show today?
not really, not really.
Yeah, it's good, no?
They,
Because if
but,
they
but
find out your strategy, you might have to actually change your strategy from
yeah,
here on out.
no, now they're okay with it. Now they're not that worried
Right.
anymore. I think too many
Uh-huh.
trophies have come in through the front door, so now they're like okay with it. They've accepted it. So
Hmm.
yeah, my dad is actually very supportive. So yeah,
I get it. I mean, without parent support, it's impossible. I mean, to take part. And in fact, like
yep,
since I've been like, I had to interview you, so I had to read a lot, and I had to check out a lot of videos. And then
yeah.
you said like Michael Schumacher, right? And Niki Lauda.
Mhm.
It's someone you take inspiration from. And then I saw Niki Lauda's that video where he had a bad
Mhm.
accident, and the amount of
Yeah.
surgeries he had to go through. So that got me thinking, oh my God, this actually is a scary thing. I mean, like, we admire those people, especially women. I mean, very few of them, but then it's really, really scary. So, but anyways, we are so,
Yeah.
so proud of you. And most of the articles had written,
Thank
like,
you.
about you, like the Wonder Woman. And I really think you are a Wonder Woman and a very
I,
strong personality too. So, I mean,
Thank you.
what did your
I think every I think every woman is a Wonder Woman. They just need to find themselves and find what they love the most or what brings out the best in them. That's it. And I
but
think
there
you are looking very nice today in that outfit.
that this is especially for you, and you are my first
Well, thank you.
interviewee from Shillong, so I had to wear
All
something
right.
special, and for people of Shillong too. And I actually studied in Shillong
Oh,
when
all
I was
right,
a
all
kid.
right.
Yeah, I didn't stay there too long, but then I studied there, so I feel really connected to
Okay.
people of Meghalaya. So hi, people of
Yeah.
Meghalaya. I just love the place. I love the people, and I love the schools out there. I mean, that's where
All
I
right.
built my foundation, and I think a
Okay.
big part of me is it comes from Shillong.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, you look really nice. So thank you for
Thank you,
dressing
Phoebe.
up.
Yeah, it actually took me longer to dress up today. I almost got late for the interview.
But you look nice in that almost khasi attire.
Thank you, Phoebe. Hmm. Anyways, I also read in one of your Instagram posts that be strong enough to stand alone, be yourself enough to stand apart. This specific line was really, really catchy. So, can you explain it for our viewers what you meant precisely?
So, you know how a lot of people actually struggle to accept themselves for who they are, because I
Hmm.
think most of us always try to find validation from other people. Uh, because to stand alone and to be strong is something really difficult, for mostly all of us. It was difficult
Right,
for me at one point of time as well. I think we all go through that phase in life. Some of us just probably just brush it off and just live the next day. Some of us want to find ourselves or want to find more purpose in life. Why are we here, for what? So I believe that if you could tame your mind, you could discipline yourself, you in that by yourself, all alone, like without trying to get validation from anyone around you. You are strong to
right,
stand alone then. you know but then you also have to be strong enough to be there for everybody else, like to
right.
be a part of other things in life. So it's like a leader, like you lead the other people, you help them grow. But at the end of the day, not everyone is going to be available for you. But that time you should be strong enough to stand for yourself, to help yourself, to support yourself. And it's easier said than done, because this is something which is very deep. I feel it's more of something where you need to connect with yourself. You need to find yourself first to be strong enough to be by yourself. Because every time we would always, all of us have we have loved ones around, friends who care. But when these people, like, they are not available, or they're not there for us, we tend to feel alone, or we tend to feel lonely. We would want that company, or we would want somebody to be there with us. We don't really like our own space, most of us. But I think
That's
once
so
you
true.
once you start yeah once you start liking your own space, then you're strong enough to stand alone, but then also you're strong enough to stand with the crowd as well. So yeah, that's what it
That's
means.
true. That's the new reality, especially in this tech savvy
True.
world. And like when we don't have time to meet our friends, and like we are there stuck to our phone all day. So, I mean, I
Yeah.
think the concept is self-love, right? I mean, self-love is something we
Yeah.
really need to focus on and work on ourselves
Yeah.
rather than trying to change the other person and
Yeah.
be the best version of ourselves. I totally, totally get that, Phoebe. So well said. It's
Yeah.
something. I think it's an issue that lot of people are struggling with today. So I think the
Correct.
concept should be self-love is the thing to focus on right now. And
Yeah.
Uh, what I found very interesting about you is like when I think of you, it's like I feel like you're so busy practicing and like you must be like always the outdoor adventurous person, but you won't really have time for anything else. But then I find that you're like pretty versatile. You've been into so many other things too, like and singing, right? You can begin. Can you tell us a little more? What about your other interest areas?
So I'm more of an outdoor person. You
Mm-hmm,
never catch me. If you come home, you'd never see me at home, flicking TV channels, because I am not
mm-hmm,
interested in that kind of world, because I feel that entertainment is just it's something that does not help you grow, does not really
right.
teach you much. It does not it does not bring out the best in you. I think what brings out the best in you is to get out there, get out there and learn people's culture, learn places, learn new things, experience new things. I mean, at the end of the day, all of us grow old at one point of time, and we feel so old that we're like, okay, now I'm too old, so I cannot get on a cycle, or now I'm too old, I cannot get on a skateboard, or I'm too old, I cannot fly a kite, something like that. But then at the end of the day, you're never too old. Like, if you want to get on that cycle, get on that cycle. If you're 50, 60, 70, whatever, you think you want to get on that cycle because because you feel like it, or because you want to, you're still free to do so. Like, age is just a number, basically. So I
Right.
feel that we could always do. And I'm an outdoor person, so basically I like a little bit of, when I go out, sometimes I like to hang with my friends, just jam a bit, do a little bit of singing,
Mm-hmm,
go explore nature a bit. If I have the time, I have few friends that trek, I would join them for trekking. If I have a few friends to show me around, learn new things about caves and stuff like that, if I have the time, I love joining them. I have a friend, her name is Naomi Karbangar. I've always asked her, when I'm free, are you free? Can you take me caving? Because she's a spelunker from Shillong, and she has learned a lot about caves and stuff, and she has achieved quite a lot. So for me, it's very inspiring from her side.
mm-hmm.
So
Me
nature
too.
is
I would
something
love to
that,
meet her, yeah, because I want to
sure,
go there too. It's like I'm so into it
maybe
without
your
actually
next interview.
having been there.
Maybe your next interview, or maybe when you come here, maybe we could contact her and she could take you around.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, she
Others,
knows
I should
quite a bit
blackmail her,
about.
like I'll interview her and I'll tell her, like, I'm not gonna put it up in a show until you take me, like, around.
But I'm sure she'd be more than willing to take you around. She'd be happy.
Or maybe we can do our interview in a cave. That would be so cool, right?
Yeah, definitely. Why
Hannah,
not?
the whole process.
When it's permitted. Yeah, sure. You'd love.
Hmm.
I mean, you'd love the place, the caves over here. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've seen so many pictures, and unfortunately, I've never got the chance to visit any of them right now. And I've always been forever been planning, but I think it's time I go ahead. And now that I found the person too, just tell her I'm
Yeah.
coming.
Yes. Sure. Why not?
Yeah. And um, you're inspired by Michael Schumacher and Niki Lauda, like I said, but um, what motivated you to take up motorsports? I mean, just it just happened impromptu, or like it was always in your head that this is what I want to do.
No, so since I was a kid, my
Mm-hmm,
dad used to have this habit to put me on his lap when he's driving. So every Sunday we used to have a family drive outing,
mm-hmm,
and we used to go to these, far off villages in Shillong, in Meghalaya, and
mm-hmm,
we used to go to these far off villages, and then roads were empty that time. Not everybody owns a car, so I would. It was quite empty spaces. So my dad would put me on his lap on the way back or on the way there. Like he would give
mm-hmm.
me the steering wheel, like, here. Try. He would hold. He would help. Of course, he would guide me, but he would say, okay, you try. He'll teach me, stay within the white, because we don't have dividers here, because we don't have such big roads. We just have the white line
Right,
that divides each sides,
right.
and it's a it's a two-way, so the white line is the only thing that divides you from going to the other side. So he would say, stick within the white line, make sure when you cut you follow the road, stuff like that. So I got the interest from there, actually. And it's so
Okay.
amazing for me that this thing, that you sit on, you can actually take it anywhere and it gets you places. So because I
Mhm.
was still very young, that was very amazing for me. And as I grew up, that kept happening. As much as I could still sit on the lap, till a point of time came where I had to sit on the seat, then not on the lap anymore. And I was the one who had to learn the rest of it, like, what a car actually does, or like how it functions to move. So, or what an engine is and stuff like that. So I started learning all that stuff. And I've always wanted to be a race car driver. I Initially, I wanted actually to be a bike racer, to be very honest. I
Mhm.
started with bikes. Uh, I love bikes very much, and as I grew up, I think
Mhm.
that I'm a very tiny person. So also, okay, so as I grew up, bikes got bigger, and I'm the same. So then it was very difficult for me to think of racing in a bike, because I can't really reach the ground, with these bikes now. So then I thought of, like, okay, maybe a car. I'll fit in a car better. What like there's so
Mhm.
many possibilities that I could still do even if I'm too tiny for a car. But then again, as you grow up, you have to study, and especially being from Shillong, parents are very strict. We have to study first. Education is very important. So I
Right.
went through a normal life, studied like every other kid. Finished my 10th standard, finished my 12th standard. I left Shillong and went to Bangalore to study, to finish my further studies, my degree. And after my degree, I thought of I was planning on doing the masters, but then I was in a city, and I was like, I've studied all my life, okay, and and for me, books is not a favorite. But I was like, okay, I need to start working at the same time so that I get some experience. And so when I was in college, I started working with Red Bull. So from
Mhm.
there it went on, like, I did my normal life, karke study, go to work kind of thing. But at the back of my head, to be very honest, I was not satisfied with what I was doing. I knew there was something more. I felt that, like, every day, like, maybe I should give it a try. Maybe I should try harder than just settle for where I am. So one fine day, my parents said that, come back home after almost 15 years being in Bangalore. They were like, come back home. And I was like, okay. My dad was like, you promised me you'd do the UPSC exams, that you'd go there, finish your college, and come back. But then you took so many years, and you didn't, you started working and didn't come back. So he's like, do you think now you still want to write it? I said, okay, chalo, like, maybe this is that change for me, because I felt there was something more for me. Then I
Mhm.
was, and racing seems next to impossible, because by then I've grown up so much. And I thought it was next to impossible to even get to anywhere close to racing, at that age and that
Right.
time. And it was a time when I have to build my career, or like, get, according to my parents, I have to get a stable job or a government job. And for me, I don't see the point with government jobs, because I'm somebody who've worked for companies. I've worked for companies for so long, and it's a whole total different thing, working for companies and having a government job. But here in Shillong, because we're still a small town, small city, there are no companies, no big companies where people can walk in
Right.
any day for an interview. So we have to settle for government jobs, or whatever. Whenever we're lucky, we do an exam and you get to the government job or a bank job, whichever. So I had come back for UPSC, but still, I finished the coaching. I was going to do the prelims. I still wasn't happy. By then, I was already racing. Like, I was doing a
Mhm.
bit of autocross here, and I was doing a bit of rallying with Baljit. But then a friend of mine had called me and directed me to Instagram and Ahura page. They said that they were
Mhm.
for women. It was a women talent hunt. They were looking for women drivers for the first women Formula 4 national championship team. So I
Right.
connected with them on Instagram, and I connected with Mr. Suresh Hataria. He's the owner of the team. and he himself is a national champion. So he decided to start the all women team. He was like, everyone has a man's team. Like, he's like, no, I believe in women. I believe they're good drivers and I want to give them a chance. So the first time that I spoke to him itself, he's very, like, he's very kind, and he made me feel like I'm already a friend of his, or he's already a friend of mine. So he guided me through it all and told me what all is to be done. And so I did the needful, and then I head off to Coimbatore for the talent hunt. And to my
Right.
surprise, like, I made it to the team. So for my Formula career, that it kicked off from there. If it wasn't for Sarosh Hataria believing in women drivers, I don't think I would be here. But because he did, and he started off the team, so that's how my racing career in Formula started.
What surprised me and what was so intriguing was that like I have mentioned earlier also in the intro video, that there are no gender differences. Like when it comes to racing, you have to compete against each other, men or women. So was that a revelation for you too, or like you always knew that there's no difference as such, and you have to compete against each other?
Initially, like I said, there was no Formula women's team. So it was only men. And,
Right,
basically, motorsports was like every other sport. It was always a man's sport, or basically everything else is belonged to a man. Like they say, no, a man's world, a man's world. But to me personally, I always think that, women are no less. I don't care if you're a man, or if you're young or you're old. I believe that if you have the will and you have the capability, I think it doesn't matter who you are, young, old, man, woman, you children, or even a kid for that matter. But if you do have the willingness, or if it's something you love or something you want, if you chase after it, if you go for it, you definitely will achieve it in some way or the other. If any sport for that matter, be it saying that women can't probably run a marathon race, people can say that because maybe the men have more strength than the women. But until someone went for that race and created history, yeah, until a woman went for that race and created history, till then nobody thought that a woman could do anything. So I think in every field, there shouldn't be any gender specification, or age group, unless the sport demands the age to be a little bit younger. Otherwise, if it's a sport which is okay for anybody, any age group, I think anybody can do what they want. And it depends on how hard they work to actually achieve their goals, or achieve their dreams. Yeah.
very well said, Phoebe. Because um, somebody has to go there and check out, right? And you did. And I know there will be more motorsports, like more women like coming in from Northeast. I mean, sooner or later. But the first is the first. You'll always be remembered, Phoebe. And that's
Yeah.
the remarkable thing about you. It's always the hardest for the pioneer, but it's also the fact remains that they'll always be remembered. I mean, the second, third, of course. I mean, yeah, people do remember, but the history makers are just one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
So,
I mean, like, you have to go out there and get it. It's not gonna come to you. I mean, sometimes we have dreams, and we dream big. All of us do. We can sit
right,
in a chair and say, oh my God, I wish I was like this, or I wish I was like that. But sometimes if you
right,
think hard enough, like, if you wish to be that, then why not go out there? I mean, I'm not just saying this because it's an easy journey. It's definitely not an easy journey. Like I said, it's always easier said than done. But then at the end of the day, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to how bad do you want your life to, or your career to be something like be in this, like, some, like, to be in this, like, any sport, or to be a journalist, or to be a cricketer, something like that. Depends on you, how badly do you want it, because only if you want it as bad, then you work hard towards it. And of course, the journey will always be so difficult, but it's up to you to find some way or the other, take opportunities as they come to you, because opportunities will always come, but it depends on you if you're
Right.
going to grab them or not, because sometimes if you grab that one opportunity, you never know what your next step would be. So for me, my journey has only been about that. If I see an opportunity, someone gives me an opportunity, I grab it and I work hard towards it. Support wise, to be very honest, I stand alone. I mean, of course my parents support me by saying, yeah, we're here for you, you know but because motorsports is expensive, I can't expect my parent. I have siblings after me who's still studying, who still needs my parents guidance. I cannot be selfish and be like, no, this is what I want, so I want you all to put money for me. It's never been like that. And speaking of money, motorsports is expensive, so I try to find my own ways. I do have wonderful friends who support me, and some of these friends have helped me through, and I'm
Right.
very grateful to them. They've always asked me, and they're wonderful people, and they're kind and humble, and they've asked me to never mention, that their names, that they've helped me, but I know they'll be watching this at one point, and I'm always ever grateful to them. Hopefully, one day, when they need me, that time I can, give back to them what they've given me and supported me all throughout. But yeah, it's never easy. My journey has not been an easy one, and but I refuse to give up, is the point. And I believe that today it might be a bad day, but tomorrow is not the same as today. So today I might be here stuck and not getting anywhere. Tomorrow I might just get a phone call and somebody might just invite me for a race, or someone might just call me and say, oh hey, like, we want to sponsor you for this, that. So I feel that's how the universe works. And when your time comes, your time will come. But you have to work hard though. Yeah.
That's right. I mean, I was just wondering, like, did you try, apart from friends, did you try reaching out to the government and for other sponsors? Did you find any, like, beyond your own, like, it's a really expensive sport. I mean, it's just not possible to do it on your own. So,
Of course,
has
yes.
there been
Yeah,
anyone
well,
helping you out apart from friends?
well, I've tried with the government as well, but honestly, it's sad for me that I have to say this, that I don't even understand why the sports department exists in Shillong, actually. Because I'm not the only one, in the sports department that needs help.
Right.
There are so many other talents out there, boxing, maybe a little bit of these taekwondo or karate, or footballers, uh, so many other sports that are available there, like, that need that help from the government, so that they can also be part, at least, like, us from here, from Meghalaya, we could be part of a team, of a national team, and represent our own state. But if
Right.
there is no help from the government and we are struggling by ourselves, how much can we struggle? Some of us get lucky, maybe we get help from here and there, personal help, or like, friendship help, but not everybody is lucky. I know of a few
Exactly.
boxers who went all over abroad, from Meghalaya, but they still didn't get any help. So now they're nowhere, like nowhere, as in they cannot pursue their dream anymore. So it's very sad though that the sports department here doesn't function. I feel, for me, it just exists and it doesn't function. I mean, small things here and there, maybe they'll give off, like, support, but I think they
Mm-hmm.
should look more into the sport. I mean, the sports department should look more into its own department and help
Mm-hmm.
other people in the sports department, or the athletes, that need that kind of help, that are good but need some help, for so that they could go practice or train themselves to become better and represent the state.
Right.
Most of them, I think, they're representing the state from their own pockets, and it's quite a big pinch. So yeah.
I'm not even surprised, Phoebe, because the amount of people we've had here and interviewed, the answers have been the same. The question has been the same, and the answer has been the same, that they have not got any help. So, excuse me, I've reacted a lot, and I'm like, oh my God, how this? That. Now I'm so speechless. I'm tired. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm literally speechless. And what's the point of helping someone who's already made it to the top? I mean, After
Correct.
that, they don't need it, right? But during the process, during the struggle, that's when they need help the most. But that's when
Of
it's not
course.
coming. I mean, like that way, so many people, like, like great talents and like people with great potential. I mean, we lose them on the way. And like you
Correct.
said, not everyone gets lucky, not everyone gets help all the time. And then how many times will parents help? How many times would friends help out, right? I mean, you need
Of
something bigger,
course.
an institution to help you and to prepare you, to groom you. So
Yeah.
it's what do I say?
All I can say is all I can say is I can just keep making noise, and hopefully we
Definitely.
get a hopefully we get a sports minister that loves sports, that knows how to promote sports in our state, in Meghalaya, in Shillong, because like they say, right person for the right job. They all that
Right,
saying goes well. If you put the wrong person in a job which he cannot handle, he's not going to help
right,
you grow. But if you put the right person in the right job, that department or that specific post, they will do their job accordingly, because they know and understand very well how to go about what in what way should they do things, in what way should they promote the athletes, or in what way should they guide them or give them help so that they go further, uh, all that stuff. So I believe in the right person in the right job. So I think right now we have the wrong person in the wrong spot. uh, I, I
right.
I I know for sure, if since I love sports, if I were to be put in like a spot where I have to take care of athletes, I know exactly what I'd have to do for them. But if I do not love sports and I'm given this job, I wouldn't know what to do with it. I wouldn't know which side, which aspect to look into to help the state grow in the sports department. So I just think that people need to, I think athletes need to have that like that opportunity to vote for the correct sports minister, to vote for someone who is into sports or who's been part of the sport, have any sport, whoever has represented maybe Shillong abroad, so maybe in
Right.
boxing or some other thing, there are so many of them which I know of. So these people should be the one who should get into this department. Then only they will look after every other athlete in each other aspect of sports. Otherwise, if you put the wrong person in the wrong place, this it's just going to be the same every year, and for the rest of it, like Shillong is just going to be stuck. And there's so many talented athletes in different fields of sports from Shillong, from what I have come across. Yeah. So I guess until that changes,
Yeah,
we can only make noise. We can just keep making noise, keep trying. Because
yeah, I think,
I think even if right now it looks like zero, it looks like zero progress. But at the end of the day, I
right.
think if we keep making noise, we keep making noise, at one point of time, someone's going to come up and be like, yeah, let's look into this, that way. So hopefully somebody does that. All I could do is
Yeah, I
make
think they
noise.
need to check out our channel because all the interviews like I've taken, they've had the same issue and the same problem. They've not had, they've made it literally on their own. So uh, I think they can just, they don't need to go here and look around and like do a survey. They just need to check out our Northeast Today and they'll find the answer here itself.
Yeah. So
And
many, so
since
many.
like I'm interviewing people from all different states in the Northeast, so it's kind of like it's a wholesome um, feedback from everywhere. It wouldn't be
Yeah.
just
I wish,
Arunachal.
I
It wouldn't be
wish
just right.
I wish some news channel would actually interview the sports department. That way it would be
Hmm.
really great. Like, where
I
where does
I
where
also
does
right.
where does Shillong stand in that? Where does the state of Meghalaya, basically, not Shillong, where does the state of Meghalaya stand in sports? That's the first question. There are so many, like I said, talented athletes out there that if they look into it, they're going to find that, okay, these people could actually represent the state nationally. And when you get that training, you go national, you learn, you experience. Of course, you'll get that opportunity to go international. Because it has to start somewhere. right?
Right.
So yeah, so that way, so I think until and unless somebody questions that the sports department or something, it's going to be very difficult, very difficult.
I agree that education, I think education sector and sports sector is something like whoever is in charge will have to go beyond themselves, has to go beyond their own self-interest, because there are children out there and who are the futures of tomorrow. If you mess with that department and those departments, I think you're messing up, like, generations to come, and you're responsible for that. Yeah,
Exactly.
right,
Yeah, on point.
right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So I did see some questions popping up. I think some of your uh, fans want have some questions. So would you like to take one or two of them right now?
Sure, sure, why not?
So I request my technical team to please, if there's any question right now, can you show it?
I think there was an issue. So, Meto, are you there? Or I think the net has just gone off from her side. I can't seem to hear her anymore online.
Hi, Phoebe.
Hi, I think you went off.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. So okay. The questions. Did you take the question?
I didn't see a question though. I just got some compliments. I just saw some
Oh, okay.
compliments
Okay.
popping up on the screen. I don't think they were questions.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay,
I think
now I
there's
can see
one.
one. Would
Right.
you prefer going back to bike racing if the given opportunity? I would love to do both. Right now, I am doing very well in the car racing, car racing world. So I
Right.
think that if I can and do have the time, I would love to get on the bike racing track as well, because I actually bikes are my first love. But since I'm, like I said, I'm a very tiny person, I can't reach the bikes nowadays. So I've started riding very less. I ride only once in a while. If I find, if I like if I able to ride any of the bikes. Like example, Harleys are not too bad for me. I can still reach some of them. So it all depends on that. But yes, I would definitely love to go back to. I mean, I would love to start bike racing if possible.
For Neeraj, like I have certain collection of photos of her, and there's one of her biking one. Okay, like would you like to take this question first? Yeah, you can
Yep.
just take this one, then we can. Yeah.
I think it's just a he's just said lovely
Oh, lovely
conversation.
conversation.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, thank you, thank you. So I guess it goes
yeah.
for me too. Okay.
Yes, of course, for the podcast.
So, Neeraj, for like like the bike thing and all, I have certain pictures of her, and in fact, I wanted to ask her also about it. Like we can go ahead with those pictures, and Phoebe, maybe you can tell us and give us a bit of an insight into those pictures. I found that really cool and interesting.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah,
Well,
this is right.
this was a picture for Republic Day actually.
Uh-huh.
I think it was in 2019. So this
Right.
is a picture of being an Indian and being proud on Republic Day, and and my trophies behind. So and of achieving so much. Yeah, this picture is just
Okay.
about
I
that.
see a lot of rupees. Yeah, this is the one Neeraj I was talking about, right? This is
This,
so uber cool. I mean, you look so good.
yeah, this belongs to a friend. It's a
Okay.
very heavy bike. It's too heavy, like to ride it. Like for me, for my body type, because I'm very tiny, it's too heavy to
Uh-huh.
ride for bunnies and all. I mean, a short ride just for testing is okay. But yeah, this is a
Hmm.
very nice bike.
Okay, yeah. This one?
This is I went out. This is in Cook in the south, in the southern part of
Hmm.
India. That lake.
Hmm.
It's a friend's farmhouse, and there's a lake behind. Okay, so we took
Uh-huh.
some kayaks and we camped there for the night, and we went kayaking down that river. So and
Okay.
the reason why you're seeing so many splash in the water is because my friends from the other kayak are trying to disturb me because I was trying to get away from them and roll as fast as I can. So they're just like splashing water at me, so I couldn't look where I was going, so I was dugging and like kayaking myself.
Okay. I guess you guys had real fun. Yeah, I find this
Yeah.
picture really, really interesting. It's like three versions of you. So,
Yeah.
can you tell our viewers about it?
So basically, yeah, I like a bit of singing, like you said. So when I
Mm-hmm.
was in Bangalore, when I used to live in Bangalore, I used to have a friend who used to host karaoke events, and he
Mm-hmm.
used also to host competitions. Okay, so there would
Mm-hmm.
be competitions and stuff like that. But this picture is not specifically from there, but this
Mm-hmm.
singing picture is from my. I was a wedding singer for my cousin sister. She's more
Mm-hmm.
like an elder sister to me because we grew up during the same time. She's about a year
Mm-hmm.
older to me, but
Mm-hmm.
she's one cousin that I consider as my elder sister. So it was her
Mm-hmm.
wedding, and she
Mm-hmm.
asked me to be her wedding singer. So and I was her bridesmaid. So I was wearing this very fancy dress and with the whole hairdo because I was her bridesmaid. So I also was her wedding singer. So this picture is from there. I sang at her wedding, and the one in the middle is we had this meeting about with young Indians earlier, and when I came back to Shillong, I joined Young Indians, and we
Mm-hmm.
had a meeting for entrepreneurs, for people with views of helping the street children, and people with the views of making the city better, for the future, for the next generation and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
this picture was taken at that point of time, exactly when we had that meeting. And of course, the
Mm-hmm.
next one is the racing suit. Just I think for me, the first one in the racing suit is something which is uh, you know, uh, which is my life. Then
Mm-hmm.
comes the second, where work comes, where being an entrepreneur, being a businesswoman comes in, and then of course singing.
Right.
Singing is something which I can do anytime. When I drive the car, also sometimes if you sit with me for a long journey, you might just want to shut
Mm-hmm.
me up because I just keep singing all the way, singing all the way. So yeah, so this pretty sums up just a bit of who I am, apart from being a nature lover and
Mm-hmm.
being a sport lover. I do like other sports like basketball. I've played cricket in school, and our team had won. I was a spin baller. Like, I used to go for cycling race before when I was a kid. I used to get,
Mm-hmm.
of course, the medals for it. Like, there are a few other things in life that I've done, but these three in this picture sums up totally everything. Like, for me, these are my main things.
Right. And y- just for our viewers, she just, I mean, this is going to be so surprising for them that like you even bake. I mean, like Black Forest cake. I mean, I bake too, but then I know how difficult it can be. It takes perfecting. And I think you told me something like
Yeah.
you took a really short time to learn it.
Yeah, the thing was last year when the pandemic had started, I mean, it was really hard for me being somebody who does not like to sit still and like to be indoors. I
Mm-hmm.
found it really difficult to deal with it mentally,
Mm-hmm.
because my brain works like it just keeps working, it just keeps functioning. I need to find
Mm-hmm.
something to do. I need to be on the move. My brain needs to work. I cannot sit idle and let my brain, like, just leave my brain stagnant like that. Or be at a at a pause, so I tried
Right.
finding ways of doing new things, so that I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be too idle, I wouldn't get too bored, or I wouldn't, because an idle mind is like, it's always the devil's workshop, like they say, so I didn't want my mind to
Mm-hmm.
be idle, so I just thought ki chalo, let me try baking, because I've never tried baking before. So
Uh-huh.
I tried baking, and to my surprise, it came out really well for a first try. So
Exactly.
since
That's
since
what.
then I've started. Since then I've started baking a few other flavors, like few other cake flavors. But I do it
That's what.
once in a while. That's it.
It, yeah, I found this picture really interesting, and I because I saw it, I'm sure it has some meaning, right? So can you tell us?
Yes, so basically, I'm someone who believes that, you should always stay grounded. Okay, it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter how much money you have, how much popular you get. At the end of the day, we're all human beings, and
Right.
there are the ones like us who are lucky, born into a family that's already well-to-do. We have food to eat. We're fed
Mm-hmm.
during the pandemic, especially, like, we're still okay to do, even if we did not earn, even the business didn't go well, we still had something
Mm-hmm.
that was saved in the bank account which we could feed ourselves with. But there are people
Right.
out there who were suffering quite a lot. So at
Mm-hmm.
one point of time, I took an initiative, using my dad's office vehicle,
Right.
which was available, because that point of time all the villages are shut. They're not
Mm-hmm.
allowing inter-district or interstate movement. But
Mm-hmm.
getting a government car to get into these villages, the headmans, the locality head, the village headmans, they won't stop you,
Mm-hmm.
because they think the government has come to give you rations. Okay, so what I
Right.
would do,
Right.
I would take my dad's government vehicle with the driver and with a few friends who started up this funding, and asked me to join in with them. So we got few funds from few people here, from few business owners here in Shillong. We bought, like, enough stock, enough ration, and we went off to villages, and we went distributing them to each daily wager, people who are,
Mm-hmm.
living on that daily wage. Was a very big hit for them, and
Right.
it was really heartbreaking, like every bit journey that we knock on each door, and seeing those people like that during that pandemic was too heart crushing, seeing women actually trying to survive with their kids, without any money at all. It was very, very
Right.
heart wrenching. So yeah, so this picture was one of the, because we don't take pictures with their faces, so we just
Mm-hmm.
thought that, because see, for the ones who have funded us money, we still have to show them some evidence, that okay, we have bought this much stuff, and these are the places we've gone and visited and given. But these
Mm-hmm.
pictures are not for putting up in social media and all. These
Mm-hmm.
pictures are just for us, and for the guys, for the people who fund it, for the friends who fund it, just to show them, okay, see, we've gone and given whatever you guys get, the help that you guys have given. We've
Right.
gone and helped these people. So these never went up in social media anyway, and most people don't know, and I feel that people don't really have to know about it. But since you wanted to get a personal view of who I am, other than racing, this is something that I
Mm-hmm.
do. And before the pandemic, like anywhere in the street, if a kid comes in back, I do not believe in giving money. Okay, I refrain
Mm-hmm.
from giving
Mm-hmm.
money, because when you give money to these people who don't get money every day, they misuse it. Sometimes they don't even eat
Right.
food; they turn to other things. So instead of that, if someone would come and beg, or or some kid would come to me in the street and sell something, instead of
Mm-hmm.
buying that thing from me for 10 rupees, 20 rupees, which doesn't make sense for me, I might as well invite the kid and get some food and let the kid eat the food. Even if the kid doesn't eat, then he'll still eat it later. At the end of the day, he's not going to throw
Right.
that food away. But if I give money, then I don't know, he might turn to drugs, or he might do something illegal. So I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
give them money. But I would never mind if someone comes and beg, I wouldn't mind buying them food. So that's just who I am. I've always been like that since I was a kid. Me and my brother, actually my younger brother, we're always
Mm-hmm.
like that since we were kids. When we have enough extra pocket money, And we see
Mm-hmm.
kids begging or something, we don't mind. Even if it's just chocolate, we just buy them chocolates. So me and my brother,
Mm-hmm.
we grew up that way. Like, my second brother,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, my younger brother, so the second one after me, we always into that. Like, if we see someone, we're ready to help. There's no thinking twice. If I have an extra money in my pocket, why not? If I have extra, just sharing is always like, the best thing. So
Yeah, I mean, it's that's why I specifically put this picture because the moment I saw it, I knew it would have much more meaning than just those two plastics lying there. And
mm,
it's like for people to, I think those who can help should help. A lot of people are like, oh, like, how will I do it? I'm a poor man. You don't have to give so much. Like, little bit will
correct.
also do, and you don't have to go like all the way, like, travel and go some really
Yeah,
far place to help people out. You can just help your
yeah,
neighbors. You can just help out
yeah,
people
exactly.
around you also, right? So, oh, I
Yeah.
found this picture really interesting. I mean, like in all different shades of colors, and I just wanted to know what is it about?
So I have this obsession, I would say, for hair colors. I've always had an
Uh-huh.
obsession for hair colors since I was a kid. But then,
Mm-hmm.
at that point of time, back in those years, we were not. It was not accessible for us to get fancy colors like this. In Shillong, or let's
Right.
say India for that matter. The only colors you would have is black color, brown color, just the
Burgundy.
neutral ones. Yeah, burgundy, of
Right.
course, let's not forget. And purple color and grape, those are the only colors. So
Right.
when after
Right.
I left for Bangalore, I went to a parlor. I wanted to get my hair done. I wanted blonde so badly. The guy did not know how to do it. Okay, he actually
Mm-hmm.
spoiled my hair. So what I did was I was like, okay, this is enough. I'm going to learn this on my own. So I
Mm-hmm.
just started YouTubing and finding stuff and all like that. I gathered information, and
Mm-hmm.
after that, uh, I picked up a few, colors from the store in Bangalore. It's a wholesale store where they sell only
Mm-hmm.
parlor products, and that's it. I started experimenting, and as the years went by, I think I became faster at it and much more better at it. And so, yeah, I
Oh my
started doing all
God.
this.
I'm going to interrupt you. This is all done by you. I thought it's done in a parlor. It's so, so
uh,
good.
all of it
Oh
is
my
done.
God.
Right now I don't have any color on me because I'm out of colors because I've done almost every color. Now I think I need to start mixing 2 3 colors together to get a different shade. So yeah.
Yeah, it's actually going to be so cool. I mean, all colors. Yeah. Okay, I saw that you have a lot of tattoos, and usually I know that people, those who have tattoos, they don't just like, okay, usko ye acha lag gaya, so wo dal diya. Usually
Mhm.
they have some meaning behind it. And I found this one so cool. Can you tell me what is it?
So this is a wolf. Okay, it's supposed to be a
Mm-hmm.
wolf, but I
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't want to do black and white. I did the colors because I'm more of a colorful person, as you can see the hair colors. So that's why I
Mm-hmm.
added a little bit of color to it, and the wolf is a little bit more on the lady, like, with the whole pendant
Uh-huh.
on the head and everything. So
Right.
this wolf, I got it done because at one point of time after I came back to Shillong, like, how you move from one city to the other, and then you
Mm-hmm.
meet a bunch of these old friends that you've not met in so many years, and then you start reconnecting with them. And to you, because maybe you're a person who stays the same and who doesn't look down on anyone, who doesn't see any difference in people, you don't look at anybody like that. But at one point of
Right.
time I realized that, as we grow and we go our different ways, people change. So this
Right.
is kind of, this wolf actually, I mean, my spirit animal is a wolf. I love the wolf,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel that the wolf is a
Mm-hmm.
loner. Okay, he can stand, she can stand alone. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but at the end of the day, they also lead the pack. So for me,
Right.
I'm somebody like that, you know. So this tattoo basically speaks of that. Like, it doesn't matter. Like I said, if I don't care if people give me validation or not, and said, oh, you're so pretty, oh, you're so ugly. I don't care. Like what you say, you know. At the end of the day, I'm satisfied with myself. I'm strong enough to stand on my own, and
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, I'm strong enough to also have a few people who get inspired, and I'm ready to help them grow, you know. I'm ready to help them, like, lead the way for them as well. So this tattoo,
Right.
I have it because it will always and forever remind me of who I am, and that's how I am,
Mm-hmm.
and I do not want to change that for any other reason.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
And this is you, right?
Yeah, this is me when I was just 3 years old. Yeah, two or
Such a
three years
pretty
old.
little kid. I mean,
Thank you.
your dad,
Yeah, this is my dad.
right? Yeah, I just want our viewers to know that her dad is an IPS officer. So
Okay.
obviously she had a lot of pressure to do this UPSC and whole thing. I mean, normally people, what they expect a bureaucrat's children to do is like, follow their father or mother's footsteps. So, I mean, you
Yeah.
doing completely the opposite must have been quite something, right?
Yeah, but he's very support. I mean, I probably wouldn't have got here or been this tough if it wasn't for him, because he would
Mm-hmm.
always say, "What if a guy can do it? Then what? What, you can't do it? If you want to do it, who's stopping you? Go do it." He always tells me that, you know, do anything you want, but do it with a limit. That's all he would say. Like, you know your limits, know how to behave, but
Mm-hmm.
do whatever you want. Nobody is gonna stop you. So I don't think without this man in my life, I don't think I would be able to achieve or be as tough as I am today. Yeah.
I mean, like, lots of love and like regards from me for your dad. I mean, so
Thank you.
I mean, we need more dads like that and parents, in fact, the whole family like that. And especially when a girl is trying to do something really different, unconventional, you need more love and support. And if they help you, I
Yes.
mean, they make life so much more easier, right? I mean, you might
Yeah.
just, you say, like, you don't need validation. You might go, you may win and come back, but at home, when you come back, and if they're angry and upset with you, then what do you do with that trophy?
Yeah.
Uh, I
So
just I was also wondering that because Northeast has no tracks, and how do you practice? I mean, how have you been managing?
so that's the thing. So earlier, what I would do is, if I had to go up down from Shillong to Guwahati,
Right.
now that we have this 4 lane, so
Mm-hmm.
there wouldn't be any disturbance. Like, this side is my side, the other side is on the other side. So what I would do
Right.
is, I would drive along that road and figure out my turns, my braking spots, like, that way. I've done from Shillong, from Maoyong to
Mm-hmm.
Jorabat. I've done a 45 minutes. So
Oh,
I
wow.
try to, yeah, I try to recover. I don't think I can do anything faster than that unless I have a better car and the roads are really awesome. But yeah, I could manage that, and I try to do that on my own
Right.
side of the road as much as I
Mm-hmm.
can, so that it'll be like practice to me. And then uh, when I go before the race weekend, when I go to the track, we get a session of 4 hours a day, or like an extra 5 hours, 6 hours a day, where we can actually practice and make use of the time. So what I do is, see, I mean, other people go to the track beforehand, but of course, you have to pay for your trainings as well, right? So
Right.
other guys and girls, they go to the track beforehand, and they train beforehand. But for me,
Mm-hmm.
I cannot do that, because I need to afford. I mean, I can't afford it. Basically, it's expensive. Either I spend for the race, or either I spend for the training. So what I would do is, since I can't spend for the training, what I would do is, I would just get to the track with whatever time I have left. My mentor, the owner of the team, Sarosh, he would tell me, if you're doing this
Mm-hmm.
timing, you need to push. Like, he would get on me, like, even though I have just less time, and everyone else has done much more, like, I had much more time to do a better job. He would still push me, like, he would say, Phoebe, I know you can do it. know you can do it. And because of that, I just tell myself, okay, if he tells me I can do it, means I can do it. So I just keep pushing. And with whatever time
Mhm.
before the race weekend I have, I just make use of it. That's it. And I have to keep up and catch like up to everybody. If they're doing like a 1 minute 20 seconds, I have to again, like, catch up to them like that way. Yeah.
Right. So, finally, coming to the end of this live session, I wanted to ask you that you said this is a very expensive sport. So,
Yeah.
does that imply that only the people who can afford it can actually turn this into a profession, or somebody from a more humble background? What would your suggestion to those people be? Because even I just found out that even a helmet for motorsport is so expensive. I mean, what like those who aspire, like what is your advice to them?
Well, one thing that I did is that I started saving money first. I worked for a while and I
Mhm,
saved money. So I kind of survive a bit from that part. And of course, like I said, I got help from here and there. See, I myself still belong to a middle class family. My parents are not somebody who's going to be like, oh, you want to go racing here, take the money and go. No, they worked all their life, not to throw it away for me. I have to understand that. So at the end of the day,
mhm,
I also struggle like that. But like I said, I try to find a way. So I've worked and I've saved money, and whatever money I've saved, that got me a little bit up here. And once I climb 2 3 4 steps or 5 steps, then I have friends also who support me. And then of course my mentor also, he helps me here and there. He guides me here and there. So I just try to find my way. So like I said earlier, that if there's a will, if you really love something and you really want to do something, don't give up. Like, look at the women and the men who winning in the Olympics right now. They all don't come from a well-to-do high-class family. They all come from some village, or their farmers' sons or daughters. But they didn't give up. It didn't matter to them if
right.
they played hockey with a stick that's broken. But at the end of the day, as long as you train yourself towards what you want, and you try to take that opportunity that you get, like what is her name, Marimba. She also, I don't know if I got the name right. It's Mariba or Marimba.
Mhm.
She just won the weightlifting. I mean, bronze for the silver for the
Oh,
weightlifting, right? So what is
Mirabai Chanu,
Mirabai? Yeah,
Mirabai
okay, sorry.
Chanu. Yeah,
Yeah, so she
right.
also just won the silver, and she what did she do? She took help from truck drivers to get to where she has to get. She
Exactly,
found her
exactly.
way.
Yeah.
So she found her way. So basically, the same thing with me. I wasn't born into a racing background. I don't have that much money to just throw. To be very honest, I don't have that kind of money to throw into racing just like that. Neither do my parents. Like, my parents never thought that, okay, when my kid grows up, she's going to go into racing, so that's save money. No one ever thought.
Mhm,
I myself never thought I would reach where I am today. But then,
right.
because I wanted it so bad, because I made some effort, because I worked hard and tried to find my ways, is why I'm here where I am today. So
Mhm,
all I could say is to everyone there, I'm somebody who could show you what it's like to struggle, and but to get out there. And there are others out there right now who just won the Olympic. If you could look up to these people who have, like, found their ways, instead of just sitting in one place and saying, oh, I wish my life was like this so I could be like her. I wish my life was like that so I could be like him. Instead of saying that, why not go for it? Find a way, work your way up there. And of course, ask for help when you need help. People will help you, like how Mirabai got help from the truck driver, like how I got help from my friends, or how I helped myself initially by trying and saving money first, stuff like that. You could always start somewhere. But what you do, what you love, what is your dream, that only you will know. And at the end of the day, you're the only one who should understand how you work towards that side, towards getting there.
Right.
Has to start somewhere with something.
So well said. There's no excuse to not following your dreams. This is exactly what Phoebe is putting across to our viewers. Thank you so much, Phoebe, for this. You showed up and for your time. Thank you I'm like, we've been so honored to have you here in this show with us. And dear viewers, thank you so much for staying with us till the end. And I'm going to leave you with a short video, or I think it's a autocross racing video of Phoebe. So this is it for tonight. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Hey! Huh? Fastest rookie yung ini. Napak gai tai.
Phoebe Dale Nongrum is the daughter of a retired IPS officer Onesimus Spasi, resident of Pokesh, a locality in Shillong city of Meghalaya. She is the first woman from Northeast to be selected in a Formula LGB 14. She created history by winning the third podium in the 23rd JK Tyre National Racing Championship 2020 held in Coimbatore in January. The event was postponed due to the pandemic and finished with 2 rounds instead of 4. However, she was leading in the women's category. In racing championships, there is no separate women's category and both genders have to fight each other to get to the top ranking. Phoebe came to know about Formula LGB in 2019. Before that, she was into dirt racing and had been participating in events in Arunachal Pradesh since 2017, the only one of its kind in India. The JK Tyre Arunachal Festival of Speed is a 3-day event that combines 3 forms of off-road racing and rallying: the Autocross, the rally sprint and the hill climb. For Baljit Singh Tedwal, her friend who is also from Shillong, and co-driver Phoebe Dale Nongrum, the event was memorable as they bagged the first prize in the Northeast SUV class while also taking second runner-up in National SUV class and third runner-up in National Open class. Phoebe always felt that books were not enough to teach one the ways of life. She did not change her mind even after her parents sounded cautious about her future. Nongrum came back in 2019 to prepare for UPSC examinations. Since her father is an IPS officer, she wanted to be in the police force too. But she found out about Formula Championship and Ahura Formula team recruiting women drivers. Some of her friends encouraged her and she took the chance. Before that, Nongrum said that she had no training, but she participated and got selected, and she drove along, leaving behind the dream of UPSC. The challenges on the way for a woman driver are harsher than the treacherous Formula track where anything can happen any moment, and the Northeast does not have the infrastructure for training and there are no tracks to practice. But this did not stop Phoebe from getting into the competition and taking on the driver's seat. There is one thing that Phoebe Dale Nongrum refuses to do, give up. She does not give up no matter what, inspired by Michael Schumacher and Niki Lauda, who never gave up. Northeast Today wishes Phoebe Godspeed in her journey ahead.